Welcome, welcome. I'm your host, Willie Jones. Today we're going to have a conversation about sports. That's pretty much what the show is all about. It's about sports, and we really love sharing um, the importance of sports and what it gives you, what it can do for you, and we're just going to take our time today and um, just share some good information that might be helpful, to those who play sports. I played sports pretty much all of my young adult life, and it's been very rewarding. Um, I enjoy it. Uh, I even, far as a fan, being a fan of sports, I get a lot of information, from the media, know, that keeps me in touch, you know, with how sports have changed in the many years that I've played it, or you know, um, the challenges that come with playing sports. Um, I believe, you know, um, what we'll share, with our audience, um, will be information that will be, very helpful, you know, in understanding what it is, we do, um, and how serious we take sports. Um, I I am very passionate about it because of where I lived, and you know um, just um, competing, which very myself. I was very competitive. I had an older brother, you know, that you know kind of. I mean, he introduced me, to sports, um, which he played in our neighborhood, basketball and different sports, and I just kind of followed suit, you know. Um, but when I look at sports, you know, no matter what sport it might be, um, I know far as the preparation it takes, to be good or to want to be good. Um, you get out there and you have fun, you know, um, just learning the sport and not understanding the work that goes into, being really good at it, the challenges, and that's when everything starts to um, begin to add up, because you begin to question yourself as far as um, how good you are. You know, uh, you have your um, spectators who observe you, and they start kind of sizing you up. You know, uh, and they begin to know you if you play a lot, whether it be basketball, baseball, football, whatever. I mean, sports bring on such a challenge, you know, and people judge you by the challenge. Um, I just want to touch on, when I look at, um, the sports media, and I understand myself the work that goes into, wanting to be accepted, you know, sport. Um, Everybody's not accepted the same way, you know. If your performance, and this starts when you're very young, if your performance is not there, you know, people gonna let you know. you know, they just, you know, and it starts with us. It started in me. It started in the parks. You go out there and nobody wants to choose you. you know, if you can't perform. You know, and it just, when I was coming up, we didn't have as many. Uh, um, I would say, um, personal trainers, and things like that. We didn't have that. We just went out there and, played. And, you know, back when I played, the older guys, if they saw you had any potential, they just brought you into the game and, just start shaping you, so that you could, especially if it wasn't enough on the teams yet, you know, they would choose you. Come on out, play with us. They choose you, and when that happens, um, you learn. You just don't go out there and most times they choose you. They'll choose you because they seen something in you, you know, and it's just hard. Basketball is a skill. It's like anything else. It's hard. You have fun doing it. You get better the more you play. The more you practice. You get better and better and better, and it shows on the court. Your confidence, and everything gets better, and you get good. You know, it's not all, but some guys really their skills, you know, really are polished, through the years, and people are constantly, you're constantly playing, whether it be baseball or basketball, whatever sport, you know, um, it's challenging, and um, is one thing I do want to say, because I understand the hard work that goes into, pursuing, um, basketball as a profession. That's a lot of kids, dreams, you know. Um, and I came up in Harlem. This is my team right here. Gaston Warriors, I'm in there. I play with the Gaston Warriors and the Ruckers. And, those are guys who are good. They're really good, You know, when you look at, and I'm going to say this, when you look at the NBA and you look at, guys who could have made it to the NBA, and for whatever reason, they didn't make it to the NBA. And most of the time, it's a lot of reasons. It's not that they're not good or couldn't have been great, but they didn't, make it there. I didn't make it there, you know. Um, but right now, when I look at as hard as and skilled as these guys are, that, you know, play beyond their years, in the parks still. There's a lot of great players. The Rutgers, um, players um, like Kevin Durant, you know, Kobe Bryant, you know, I mean, it's so many legends that played Dr. J, Manny Goat, Helicopter. I can go on and on because I was just a few blocks in walking distance. It was one of our parks, that we, visited and, played in, and, you know, a legendary park. And, Dr. J and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, you know, all these guys can tell you, I know when you make it, to a certain level of play, which is the NBA, then, you get all the accolades, far as, you know, exposure. I'll put it that way. You get the exposure, and they start measuring your game, and they forget about so many. Well, they don't forget about them, but they just not mention the ones who sit back and become fans and know that could have been them up there, you know, that are being talked about, you know, but there's like they're forgotten. And these guys, you know, they're great players, You got to listen to uh, the reporters, reporting on, these guys' numbers, their greatness, and back and forth, who's great. Hey, there's no need, far as I'm concerned. There's no need in even doing that, measuring one player against another player, because in my eyes, greatness in all of them, for them to even, be there, being on that level, you know, and some of these young guys, they get, bashed, talked about as if, they're just no good, you know, but it goes back to, you know, um, street ball almost, you know, and this is supposed to be basketball at its highest level, and it's like sometimes they're taking it and making it look like street ball, where you just had all the hecklers and they hecklers, and they're just you know um, criticizing you every move you make, every shot you take, you know, and those are the challenges. Those are the challenges in sports. But I believe when you get to that level, it should be a certain amount of respect, you know, rather than to be talked about as if you were garbage, you're a bum, you have no business out here, and I don't, that's just the language um, I hear, you know, and it it is what it is. It doesn't, one way or the other, it doesn't matter. It seems like, you know, what's being said, because it's open game, that people go after each other and all kind of things are said, and you're supposed to be professional. It's like back to the streets. So I track taught sports, you know, um, we hold all athletes, whether they're in the NBA or whether, collegiate level, um, whether high school, middle school, rec, if we're gonna, you know, um, use basketball or take basketball to build, you know, these great players that we're looking for, just like, playing in the Olympics, I mean, um, Kevin Durant and, some of these other players, I mean, they go hard at it, you coach, I mean, coaches, and you have to have a good support system around you, you know, in order, you can look like a bum. Anybody can look like a bum. It just depends on, what they have around them, far as, trainers and, um, good coaching, all of that comes into play. Head office, on down, it has to be, where, you know, you have a good support system in place, and it keeps the morale, high, and that's the way life is, not just in sports, you know, but in life, you have to have a good support system. You have to have good people, who want to see you excel, rather than, criticizing, you know, and that's what, you know, uh, I kind of look at more than anything. It's just the criticism that comes from these professionals, and then, after the guys, retire, from basketball, it's the back and forth, the back, rather than, you know, um, I don't know, um, it seems so immature, to still be going after each other, you know, after these stellar careers playing in the NBA, and you have nothing better to do than to just, you know, keep talking about who's the greatest and these types of things. They've already proven their greatness. Their greatness has already been measured. So one come, one go. Another one come, another one go. You know, Connie Hawkins, we can go back, back, back. The Iceman, Dr. J, You know, we got legends out there like Manny Goat, Joe Hammond. You know, we can go on and on. You know, because there's always going to be, you know, a greatness in each and every one of us. You know, so that's something you just, you know, to be arguing, you know, or throwing stones at one another. You know, I don't find that to be necessary, but you know, I guess it sells. It makes a lot of money, evidently, because they keep throwing them. You know, and I can name names, you know, but I'm not going to, because people know who they are. But you know, that mighty dollar, you know, it's just people will do anything for that mighty dollar and stoop low and try to be professional, you know, as they stoop low, you know, but they don't know. We know. You tell me. I would like to end this segment by saying I appreciate your time, you know, you listening. Um, we have a YouTube channel. You can subscribe. Um, this is Track Talk Sports. This is what we do. You know, we, you know, look at sports for the benefits, the challenges, and what it does, the positive that it does in our lives, in our everyday life. Um, so, um, if you're interested in, you know, being on Track Talk Sports, um, this is a platform for fans and athletes, you know, to come and share their experience, their sports experience, you know. So you can email us at tracktalksports at gmail.com, and you know, you'll hear back from us and we'll get you on the schedule to come talk about your sports experience.